And joining me now, live from Beijing, is Amany, Soliman, who is an associate professor of international relations at Alexandria University. Great to have you here with us on TRT World. I think it's fair to say that the Gaza crisis has become a litmus test for the United Nations and global diplomacy. If this system cannot stop the killing of civilians in Gaza, what purpose does it still serve?
Uh, Good evening, Jafar, in regards to your viewers. Well, it's a very important question. It's a question about what the UN is capable of if it's just witnessing a genocide and systematic killing, ethnic cleansing of more than 2 million people happening for more than 2 years. I think the need to reform the UN is proved today with what has been happening in Palestine, specifically in Gaza. The veto system in the Security Council just is not working, and it drives us back to the years of the League of Nations, where again countries were taking decisions, but no one had like the ways to implement them. Moreover, now we have also superpowers putting veto to protect the predator, to protect the assault, and they just working in favor of the aggressors, in favor of Israel. And if the Charter of the UN was based on choosing diplomacy over war, so how is it still sustained with what we are seeing in Gaza?
Right, and I think as someone who has covered the United Nations General Assembly multiple times, it's fair to say that this veto system that is the biggest stumbling block when it comes to reforms within the United Nations Security Council, it's not going to change because the ones who have the veto are the United States, Russia, and countries like China, for example. So is it time that we
UK
replace the
and
United
France.
Nations with a different body, a different institution, which can be more effective when it comes to resolving conflicts?
We will suggest that, and we will find 5 vetoes in our face,
But what,
and
what
it
I'm
will not
alluding to
change.
is
So
how
again,
about we just get rid of the United Nations entirely and come up with an entire different body?
I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think it's something that would happen, because this is not the first time that the United Nations fail to put an end to a massive war or to a big conflict. Yet everyone is just dealing with it as if it's fact of life. Like we have to have it, even if it's not functioning, especially politically. Maybe it's functioning in other issues, but in terms of politics, in terms of ending war, which is the main purpose of its existence, it's failing and nobody cares. It's not its first failure. I mean, look at the Cold War and all the wars that happened during them, the 1990s civil wars in the Balkan, in Africa. This is not new, but everyone looks at the UN and say, even if it's crippled, even if it's not working, but it's there, and we're keeping it since World War II, and no one has the courage to change that.
Right, and as you rightly pointed out, it's highly unlikely that something is going to change. So it begs the question: do people from the global South continue to live at the mercy of some Western nations? Is that the reality that they have to face for the coming years?
Unfortunately, yes, sir. It is. It is what we are living, what we have been living with for longer than 70 years, and it doesn't seem to change any soon. But again, as you said, maybe the General Assembly will just be like a huge theater where everyone can raise their voices, can put like moral pressure, and it's not 100% failure, because during the General Assembly session, we have seen countries recognizing the state of Palestine. And just after these meetings, the American president started his initiative trying to reach a deal between the Israelis and the Palestinians. So even if it's not 100% efficient, but at least it gives us like moral grounds, sometimes a place for the southern nations to speak up, even if their decision is not going to be implemented.
Amany Soliman, thanks very much for joining me here on TRT World. I really appreciate your taking out the time. Fascinating insights indeed. Now, let's